We're going to talk about how to raise good humans and how you can do it with the very, very simple actions, right? So, hey y'all, it's Dr. Ali. I'm doing a quick pop in. Um, I don't know if I'm still going to call this the Dr. Ali Griffith Show, Mindset, Meditation, and Motivation. But today we're going to talk about communication. I love it how it rhymes. So as you guys pop in and enter in, definitely make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following. Today I'm sharing some strategies that could work with your kiddos or any young children that are in your life. And I almost feel like it could work with also adults, but this one is how to raise really good humans. And the reason I'm having this conversation is because I've had a few of my clients. I'm also a life and business coach. I help with harmonizing and trying to balance, aka harmony, create more harmony between life, business, and our professional ongoings, especially as parents. How do we navigate it all, right? I've had some clients in the process of developing their business and figuring out where they're going to go next in their entrepreneurship life. Try to understand how do you keep that relationship and how do you keep that leadership space with your child at various ages, whether it's the young ones to the teenage ones to the adult ones. And I always come back to communication and conversations. Even though they may be at different stages in their ages, they still need to have someone that they could look to, someone that they could lean on, and someone who they can really cherish and model from. So everything really starts with us. And I realize a lot of us have some past trauma when it comes to communicating our families, our traditions, the way we were raised brought us up so differently when it came to communication, right? Most of us came from households where they didn't sit down and communicate much, especially when it came to children. It was more of the be seen and not heard era. Y'all know what that is all about. And now we're helping them to understand that they need to be seen and they need to be heard, but there's certain ways and guidelines how we can create that space where they can be heard, but still heard with respect, still heard with integrity, and still heard in a space where we can honor them and honor the words that we're saying. But it all starts with how we lead as parents. It how all starts with how we lead as an adults. So some of these things are methods and strategies that we are going to have to start to do if we want to raise good human beings. And sometimes we expect the children to just get it or young adults to just get it, not realizing that it all stems from us. It all stems from what they see us doing with our partners or other relationships in the home, how they see us interacting with whether we are CEOs and we have our clients and or we have our people that work for us or our team, and then how they see us engage with others in the environment. So they are looking at our method of communication. As you guys pop in, say hi. Make sure you guys have subscribed. It's Dr. Ali, and today I'm strictly talking about raising good human beings and us being good human beings first, right? So we want to raise children to be respectable. We want to raise them to have integrity and to have value, but we have to be the ones that are constantly and consistently modeling it. And we model this through communication. Even when there are breakdowns that are happening around us, how are we dealing with it? They're looking at how we deal with it because that's going to show them how are they going to deal with situations when it breaks down at school, or it breaks down with their peers, or it breaks down with their teachers or whoever they have to be around. And they're looking at us because they were like, if they see us busy cursing and flipping out and not having the patience, then how do we expect them to have the patience and to be able to speak with respect? So it all starts with us. I'm going to keep saying it, and you got to type it out. You got to remind yourself it starts with me. When there's a breakdown, how could I start and how can I now create this space where we can get back together and heal this space where the breakdown happens? Now, I get it. Social media is key. They're learning a lot from TikTok. They're learning a lot from music. They're learning a lot from their peers. And they're around them the majority of the day. But don't forget the evenings when they're home with us. Don't forget the overnights and the night times and the weekends when we get to spend time with just showing them and sitting to talk to them about how are they communicating at school, how are they making their needs being met, practicing, even acting it out, right? Acting and performing it out at home. If this happens at school, or if this happens with your peers, if this happens in the environment or in the neighborhood, how are you going to respond to it? And then showing them ways how you've responded to it. A lot of it comes from us sharing our own experiences as kids and keeping it real, not even lying, because they need to know that we went through a lot of the same things that they went through. They need to know that we learned the hard way. They need to learn how the mistakes that we made in our communication spaces, how there's so many places that we can look back on now and say, wow, I wish I'd communicated that better, or I wish I was able to receive that better, or take action on that better, verbalize it better. So now that we're in a space, whether we feel like we're all the way or we're just here listening to me or listening to other communication strategists that are sharing strategies, what are we doing to kind of practice it and show it? And then show them that we're not coming from this high and mighty space, but we also been there. Like I've been there. I've been there where there were times where it's difficult for me to talk to someone or have those difficult conversations, or being able to really be truthful when you're thinking something different, but you really want to be truthful, but you're thinking something different, but you're afraid if you say what you really feel that people are going to be upset. How did I navigate those situations, and how do I do it now? So in order for us to raise good human beings, it requires a lot of humility on our end. We got to be humble. We got to be able to have real conversations with them. And we have to be able to model in how we do. So that means we got to keep working on us. Sorry. You thought I was going to come back and make this all about the kids and all about them. Nope. It is all about us and what we're doing. Reminder to subscribe and keep on following. I'll keep sharing other amazing things on this channel. I love to share lots of positivity just to help us to navigate this space, which the world is always filled with gook and gack and challenges. But my space is to come in and share my light. It's also to come in and share some tools or tips or experiences that I've been through, and definitely what I know as a speech language pathologist and audiologist, working with kids and families for over 30 years now. Dang, it sounds hard, but darn near 30 years I've been working with families. And also within the last 10 years, working with my clients in their businesses and helping them to communicate in their business and also increase their sales. So as I look at it as a whole gamut, and people come and they ask questions, they're like, what are some ways we can get better in this? I say, go back, tap into your kids, ask them questions, listen, right? Listen, we got to be key listeners. Hey, Naker, I see you popping in. Say hi. Let me know what part of the world you're coming from. And then, are you a parent out there? Are you a parent or not quite yet? And if you're not a parent, are you someone who, are you the one that has probably, I don't want to say the kid. Are you the offspring? Because some of you guys might be adults and still may need to have conversations with your older parents about certain things. But just more the fact of really having this conversation with my parents out there, just so you could use it if you need it. Tap back in, work on yourself, think about ways that you need to work on your own communication with others that you know, with others that you're consistently engaging with. If you feel you're perfect, wonderful. If you think you need some support, then definitely reach out to me and get the support that's needed. As you begin to work on your communication skills, as you begin to feel more comfortable with having difficult conversations and being able to be a better listener and being able to help your child to develop some key skills that they're going to need as they get older, then we want to use those and we want to go back in and then work on them, making sure that, yes, I am a doctor, I'm an audiologist, making sure that we are leading not just by telling, but leading by example. And then allowing them space to try and to practice, right? Not just saying, oh my goodness, you guys, as soon as they start to make mistakes, you start to have your meltdowns. You have a meltdown as parents, yes, we do. But also to make sure that we're patient in the process. We all have the capacity to be good human beings. And I think it's our duty, our responsibility to take the time out to raise good human beings. And even when there are difficult moments, and I know, like I said, I know we compete with a lot of other stuff. Nick, are you a follower? You subscribe? Make sure you subscribe. You got a lot of questions, so I want to answer you. I got to make sure that you're not just popping in for once, and then you catching the regular so you can get what you need to get out of this. Oh my goodness. So use the strategies, use the time, use the reinforcement. All right, I got you then. And spend the time out to be that better human being so that you could then emulate. And if you're not a parent, realize that kids around you are watching, right? So when you go live, when you go in environments, when you go in neighborhoods, when you go anywhere, there's still young adults that are still watching you, and how you reflect yourself and how you speak with them and how you engage with them, they're also picking up and learning from you. So it doesn't necessarily mean, I always say it takes a village to raise a child, right? And my son, I believe it took a village for him to be where he's at. I still believe we are all part of a village. If not for our own kids, we're also a village for other children that are around us. So we too can raise great human beings simply by just being around them, not necessarily always as their parents. So accept your responsibility. We all have the capacity to change this world. We have the capacity to change the little mini humans beings that are around us. And it may seem like if they're listening sometimes and they're not listening sometimes, just keep being visible, just keep being true, just keep being on your integrity self. Be yourself within integrity, and they'll get what they need to get from it. I hope this message reached someone who needed to reach today. Thank you for those who popped in and caught it live. If you're catching us on replay, then definitely say hi. Let me know you're passing through. And definitely subscribe for more optimism, more mindset shifts, more motivation to get you through the days and get you through this craziness that we may call life. And every once in a while, I like to pop in and just give you guys some strategies and tips. Every time I speak, there'll be something that you could learn, that you could activate immediately and simply become better. Just better. All right? So I'll catch you guys next time.